What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Uh-oh. Let me pause that.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that
I'm
it's
dehydrated.
very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. I'm Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. What's up? Last night was the outage. We did generators and all that. Got up this morning and turned them off. I guess everything went well. Actually, let's see. I don't even know what they were doing. I don't think they really announced it, but they were just talking about the outage. I'm sure it had something to do with something that was fucked up during Helene. There were a bunch of like substations and stuff they bypassed. Power should be restored to all areas at this time. If you're experiencing an outage, please report it to UConnect or by calling option 1 and option 2. Our crews are on site preparing to begin work on crucial infrastructure to the power grid. Power to select areas of R1 will be turned off shortly until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Please plan accordingly. We will provide update. I don't know. They didn't say what they were working on, but power's restored. Power's back. We pulled through. We made it. Yeah. Other than that, I heard Birds had a big show tonight. Allegedly, Birds had a big show. Yeah, we'll probably check that out in a second. Let's see. I got some stuff I want to show. Here's one. You just heard it playing in the background. Let's try that out.
Hey. Why exactly do I care about Brazil getting tariff? Because that tariff is being used to influence the courts. Oh, God.
Ah, is it?
Courts? No, Brazilian, but still, you should care about the impact that this will have internationally. Let me guess. Is there a particular golf course that's getting in trouble in Brazil? Not quite. President Bolsonaro has been facing a number of legal challenges ever since leaving the office. In 2023, it was ruled that he was ineligible to run again because of abuses of power and misuse of government media. What a novel idea. In February of this year, he was formally indicted for running a criminal organization. Oh boy. Leading a coup. No bueno. And attempting to violently abolish democratic rule. Is this one of those videos where at the end you go, I'm just kidding, it wasn't actually Brazil? No, but you might start to understand why the U.S. administration feels the need to interfere with this. That's not...
What the fuck was that sound? It's gone now.
Making sense. Bolsonaro is currently on trial in front of the Supreme Court. He has to wear an ankle monitor. He's been banned from social media, and they took away his passport.
This is all the shit that we talked about in Brazil. So, Bolsonaro basically did what Trump did on January 6th, but he almost succeeded.
Sports because he's a flight risk. Did he do all of the things? Well, he says that it's a politically motivated witch hunt. So we hit them with 50% tariffs.
Oh my God, where's that coming from?
My main man, the one and only film aficionado worth his weight in cursed Jew gold, Phase Lit Analyzer.
Okay, I just had to close that window. Nothing was playing on that window. I just had to close it.
Well, technically it's 40% on top of 10, but effectively, yeah, it's 50% that you are paying. Also, the U.S. is targeting one of the judges. Of course we are. The U.S. administration used the Magnitsky Act to freeze any U.S. assets as well as revoke visas belonging to Supreme Court Judge Alexander de Moraes, citing human rights violations. Has he been involved in human rights violations? The administration cites censorship, politically motivated trials, specifically investigating former President Bolsonaro, and also detaining people without formal charges. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Well, these are alleged claims. Yeah, he hasn't been charged with anything. Is that why the U.S. is only targeting one of the judges? Because you said this case is in front of the whole Supreme Court. Well, Judge Moraes has been one of the most vocally anti-Bolsonaro, so targeting him feeds the narrative that it is a witch hunt led by a corrupt judge. What exactly is the plan with the tariffs? Is the U.S. administration just hoping that the new Brazilian administration will be like, whoa, drop the tariffs and we'll drop the charges? It's a creative use of power. It's risky, but honestly, it's hard to know if it's intended to be a quid pro quo or maybe it's meant to embolden Bolsonaro supporters in Brazil. Why would they feel emboldened? It's the U.S. that's targeting their economy. Because most people just think the economy was better under that guy. I don't care if he's corrupt. Bring him.
So we're fucking up their economy. So the people in the street will be demanding him back because the economy is better under him. They don't really care what's causing it
back
or understand what's causing it.
Okay. Are you sure we're talking about Brazil? Why do you think he's called the Trump of the tropics? Why exactly do I care about Brazil getting tariffs?
How fucking crazy is that? So we are putting pressure not only through tariffs, but we know that tariffs make life harder for the people in Brazil. When their life gets harder, that we think that they will demand, hey, bring back the guy when life wasn't so hard. Like, that's fucking insane, dude. Some psychological warfare. And up to something when the U.S. barracks in Lebanon were bombed. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyways. It's pretty blatantly obvious to the rest of the world what we're doing with certain tariffs. Some tariffs, he's just like across the board. He doesn't know what tariffs are, right? He doesn't know the difference between the UK and the EU. Some tariffs, he's using it to get personal favors, right? He's using it to get Elon Musk personal favors. He's using it to get his real estate approved. Others, he's using it to help dictators get back in charge, to help them escape the court system, and to get rid of them. Which is pretty fucking wild, especially for the United States to be doing that, right? If anybody's doing it, it shouldn't be us. Now I'm going to show you a funny video. Palette cleanser. Which one? Let's start with this one. Music video. This is Austin.
The older millennial's a conservative douchebag, a world-class dime a dozen piece of shit. When the billionaire class fucks the global economy, he doesn't ever seem to have a problem with it. He's a whining propaganda sycophantic Trump fan. It's depressing anybody buys a single one of his lies. The kind of guy to tell a black man to comply when a trigger-happy pig is pepper spray in his eyes. Well, as fate would have it, he was recently arrested, and wouldn't you know it, he was running and fleeing. He didn't comply with the thin blue line. When they finally got him, they caught him on body cam saying,
I'm sorry, I'm peeing. I can't stop peeing. I'm so sorry, I'm wetting myself.
What? Imagine being damn near a 50-year-old man saying, "Officer, I'm sorry, I'm wetting myself. I'm sorry."
That's right, that motherfucker just said, I'm peeing so much. That body cam audio was so damn clutch. He said, I'm peeing, I can't stop peeing. He pissed himself, and now the whole world is seeing. That's real. Go watch the clip. That's actually him. It's real audio. He says I'm peeing.
I would have guessed like 47, 48. Imagine being in your 40s saying, "Sorry, officer, I wet myself. Sorry, I'm wetting myself. Sorry, guys." Yeah, it's fucking wild. You also, if you're a longtime viewer of the show, you'll know that I have a theory that you're not actually a full-fledged adult until you've shit yourself as an adult. It happens to the best of us. There is a carve out in that rule, though. like, I can understand some people won't shit themselves because they'll just shit anywhere. Like the time I shit at the storage unit, right? I'm not sure the statute of limitations have run out on that yet, so I'm just going to leave it at that. The time I shit at the storage unit. Because you can either shit on yourself or you can drop trowel and just shit anywhere. But it's the same thing, basically, right? You're not in a bathroom. I think that's part of becoming an adult. Everybody does it. If you're saying you haven't and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you're fucking lying. I think everybody shit themselves. But one of the craziest stories that I think I've ever heard about a shitting happening was a shit that happened at 30,000 feet. Travis did. Oh, Book Girl was asking me about that. What was the musician Ken, what's his name, that was with Travis when he shit on himself in the subway in fucking DC? Ken, what's his name? Ken Carson. Thank you very much. Book Girl asked about it at the very end of a show, and I couldn't remember the last name. I said the musician Ken something, but I couldn't remember his last name. All right, anyways, check this story. This story is insane. It got millions and millions and millions of views here. Check this out. Then we'll get to Bart, maybe.
It's been almost a year now since I single-handedly got a flight out of Indianapolis canceled. And if that flight cancellation changed the trajectory of your life in a really negative way, I'm so sorry. It was not without pain and suffering. Let me run you through the events of that day. So I wake up at 3 a.m. Portugal time. I'm flying from Portugal, well, from Faro Airport to Lisbon to...
So she's saying she single-handedly caused a flight to be canceled out of Indianapolis.
Newark to Indianapolis to hopefully make it to the premiere of a film that I'd worked on. I wake up about 30 minutes from the Newark airport.
Have you seen it, Big Dude?
Good solid 5 hours. I wake up to a disturbance.
I know it's unprofessional to use this like flosser while I'm on the video, but if I have it in my hand, I can't help but use it.
Deep.
I throw it away.
Deep within my bowels. And by disturbance, I don't mean like, oh my God, this is an emergency, land the plane.
I thought she was going to say, when she says like this disturbance deep in my bowels and I knew something was wrong, I thought she was going to say like she had some type of premonition, like the plane's going to explode or something. And she wouldn't let them fly it and said that it's going to blow up and they had to stop and sniff it for a bomb. I did not know that this next story is coming.
The plane in the water. I just mean like, something is brewing. Something is happening that I am not prepared to deal with in the next 2 hours, where I have to get through the hour-long customs line, get my bag, change terminals, recheck my bag, go through security, you know the whole drill. And because of who I am as a person, I still don't have TSA pre-check because I cannot remember to schedule the appointment. So,
excuse me.
I make it through the customs line. I've been sweating. I'm sweating the whole time. Stomach's cramping. I'm down bad. I somehow, by the grace of God, make it to my next gate. With 10 minutes to spare, but only because that flight got delayed by 10 minutes. So I said, ooh, I got 5 minutes to hopefully go to the bathroom and sort this all out before I get on a plane for another 2 hours. Not time. Things are still brewing, which tells me, oh no, this is gonna be bad. I just get on this flight and hope for the best, okay? I get on this flight. I'm in my little window seat. I sit there and spend the next 30 minutes in agonizing pain. I've never felt anything like it in my life, okay? I am just full body sweating. I'm crying. My insides are cramping. I can only imagine that is what a contraction feels like. It's not probably, but you get it. I unfortunately, as someone terrified to get in trouble for God knows what reason, I'm an adult.
She's going to use the plane bathroom.
I can't get up the seatbelt signs on. You can see how this creates a huge problem for me. And this is finally where I decide like, hey, actually, this is an emergency. Like we all saw that woman that shit up the whole aisle.
Someone in chat just said she had more than, it was Sarasota, fuck out of here. He said she had more than 2 ounces of fluid just waiting to get out. I wonder if you could, next terrorist attack, okay? I wonder if you could empty your bladder, and then I'm sure you don't want to drink like an accelerant or something, or an explosive, a liquid explosive. But I wonder if you could empty your bladder and then use like a catheter device to go back in backwards with some type of liquid, and then force that liquid back out for some type of negative reason. Because they do that with dye, right? Don't they force dye in some procedure? Don't they force dye up like your pee hole to like do some type of diagnosis? And they fill your bladder with it, and they're going to make us start draining our bladder at TSA, aren't they? You know, I always thought it was weird that a bunch of Middle Eastern people hopped on a bunch of planes and, you know, September 11th, horrible, right? And then for the rest of our fucking lives, we have to deal with TSA. But like a new school gets shot up every 3 weeks, and they're like, nah, we couldn't prevent it. Nope, nothing we could do. Nope. I don't think there's anything that maybe we give the teachers guns.
Of the Delta flight, and I want to be clear, no judgment. Clearly, I've been there.
Yeah, but walk through x-rays would just show that you got liquid in your bladder.
I'm on your side. I am in support of you, but I couldn't let that happen.
I mean, if they had the ability to get down to see your bladder, most of it's just like your outline of your body, and then bones.
To me. So I was like, okay, now as ever is the time to break this rule specifically. I made
All right, here we go.
And for the next 20 minutes,
she made it to the bathroom.
Have more diarrhea than any human should ever have in their life. I mean, my bowels are just filling with water, releasing, filling with water, not water, diarrhea, releasing. It is now at a point where I go, I'm about to throw up. But now I am in a 2x2 shoebox broom closet. I gotta wipe. I gotta pull my pants up. I gotta get my sweatshirt off because I am a naked thrower-upper because I'm panicking.
I'm a naked thrower-upper.
I'm already sweating. I'm already sweating from the this. Now I'm sweating because I'm like, oh no. I gotta get everything off. I gotta get turned around on my knees. Dear God, I gotta flush. I'm not getting on my knees in front of that. I manage it, okay? I get on my knees. I start with every gag, death knocking at the doors of my butthole. With every gag, I am starting to shit my pants a little bit. It's gonna be happening to me right now. I'm not a child, I don't have another change of clothes on this flight. So oh God.
Oh shit, I fucked that up. We'll go back. I went to school with somebody that you could just go, what, and they would fucking puke. Like that was enough.
Now I'm sweating because I'm like, oh no. I gotta get everything off. I gotta get.
Let me get back to where we were.
Okay. I am starting to shit my pants a little bit.
There we go.
This cannot be happening to me right now. I'm not a child. I don't have another change of clothes on this flight. So oh God. Because I don't know what to do. You can't throw up into the sink on this airplane, right? It's this big. And the faucet is over top. So you can't even like, you know? And there's the grate at the bottom. So if there's like, it's not going in, right? I don't know what to do.
I think one of the worst, most anxious feelings in my life is when I get that thin spit and it like your jaws tingle, like your jaw muscles tingle, and you get that thin spit in the back of your throat. God, I hate that. It reminds me of every time I've ever puked, including like when you just run out of vomit and you're just like fucking convulsing, but nothing's coming out.
I don't know which is worse, to throw up on the ground or to shit on the ground. So, in my panic, I stand up and I rip open the airplane bathroom door.
Is it chunky, Legend?
And I just yell into the plane, I need help!
Could you imagine being on this plane? She's been in there for 30 minutes, and the door just rips open, and she's like, I need help! Help! I need help!
I need help! A flight attendant comes out from behind a curtain. The wizard, just, what do you need? She literally goes, what do you need? Because she's like seeing me, and she's like, and I go, a barf bag, I don't know.
The saying my dad used to have is, you could shit through a screen door and not touch a wire for diarrhea.
What you got? She starts out of a cabinet, pushing me back into the bathroom with this plastic bag. I get my pants down. I'm everything, you know? And I do this for the next hour and a half of this flight.
For 2 hours, she was shitting and puking on a flight.
I didn't leave that bathroom for the next hour and a half of this flight. They know my name by now. I haven't told them. They keep coming and checking. They've checked the flight roster. This girl has not been in her seat the whole flight. We know it's her. Megan, honey, do you need anything? Can we get you some ginger ale? Where are you flying from?
Shout out to the flight attendants. I'm sure they know how to handle it. They've probably been through this before, but damn.
I go, Portugal. I'm like, okay.
They're thinking some type of new fucking virus.
It's gonna be fine. We're about 10 minutes now from landing. They go, Megan, we got about 10 more minutes. If you feel like you can make it back to your seat. But if you can't, we did get clearance from the pilot that you can stay in the bathroom while we land. Everybody now knows. First of all, everybody now knows because I've been doing more moaning and groaning in this bathroom for the past hour and a half that Hugh Hefner's never even heard anything like this, okay? I have no shame in me. I'm in so much pain.
You died from dysentery.
I don't care what the people hear because there is nothing that the people can hear that is worse than what is happening to me, okay?
All right, so that's part one. You guys want to see part two? She's bracing for impact, about to land from the bathroom. Here's part two.
I can't leave this bathroom. Ma'am, it's bold of you to even want me to come out at this point. So I'm like, no, we're seated. We're locked in. We're now landing. Flight attendant.
She's a good storyteller.
Again, just want you to know we are landing. I do need you to brace for impact. Okay? I'm literally holding on to the sink, the side, like I am. Wheels are hitting the ground. I am just. The diarrhea is not stopping. I don't know how there was even anything in there to still come out. Okay, we've landed. I'm still going. They deplane. Flight attendant comes over.
Even after everybody leaves the plane, she's still shitting. Can't leave the bathroom.
Again, everybody is off the plane now. Go ahead. Honestly, feel free to take your time. Just come out whenever you can. Next flight has been canceled. In the moment, I'm not thinking that's because of me. In the moment, I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Okay? Because I'm like, what a gorgeous coincidence. Me being in the bathroom for 2 hours couldn't possibly cause this plane to this next flight to get canceled.
Yeah, they would cancel the flight because she's coming from out of the U.S. She could have some type of crazy disease. That's send a hazmat team on to disinfect everything.
She's also like, hey, listen, we're all parents out here.
The flight crew is instructed. They get training on like diseases and how they spread and symptoms and how they cordon off something or quarantine somebody. Like that's part of stuff you have to know, especially international flights, but even domestic flights.
There's no reason to feel embarrassed. Ma'am, I haven't been embarrassed for 2 hours. no part of me is like, oh no, everybody out there knows I'm pooping. Oh, I'm doing worse than that. I'm doing a hell of a lot worse than that. I make it out finally. They have to wheel me off this flight. I can't walk. They gotta get me in a wheelchair. They wheel me to baggage claim. But the bags haven't come yet, so they just drop me off at baggage claim. Now here I come, rolling up. Everybody on my flight is like, that girl right there just pooped for 2 hours in our plane.
That girl right there just pooped for 2 hours in our plane.
And I gotta get my bags. I got two full suitcases. I've been in Portugal for 2 weeks. I got a backpack. I got it all. I still had to get my rental car because I already rented it, and I had to like go some places the next morning before the premiere. And mind you, because I didn't even know I was going to this premiere before I went to Portugal. So I was in Portugal just like getting stuff, hoping for the best. I gotta get stuff. I get my rental car. I don't know how I made it to the hotel. Thank God it was like maybe a 15-minute flight, 15-minute drive, I think. Some guy, I'm sitting on the ground in the parking lot waiting for my car. This man next to me is like, hey man, I'm like, do you really think that you should be driving right now? Probably thought I got hammered on the flight. Little does he know, my butthole is raw as fucking.
They had to wheel her in a wheelchair off the plane.
Right now. I make it. I sleep. I just sleep until I gotta get up and poop. Go back to sleep. Gotta wake up. Gotta poop. Finally, I sleep a good while. Okay. I wake up the next day. I'm like, okay, could be a lot worse. But we didn't go through all of that just to not go to the premiere, right? Great. I got a couple hours. I'm running to Ulta. I'm coming back. I'm gonna full body shower because you know I didn't get off that flight and get to the hotel and be like, I'm feeling okay at this point. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine.
I got a movie premiere to go to.
I look fucking snatched, let me tell you. Never looked so good in my life. I'm glowing. I'm so skinny. Have a great time. Have a great time at this premiere.
Okay.
I'm like, whoa.
By the way, it's nowhere near over, okay? Yes, she got off the plane. Yes, she shut down the next flight. Yes, she's a biohazard. Yes, she enjoys the premiere. It's nowhere near over.
Go back to the hotel. Didn't do anything so crazy. It was like, we're going to take it easy, but we're going to have a good time. I'm like, okay, look at that. We did it. I wake up at 5 o'clock the next morning after the premiere because I just shit the hotel bed. Just.
She didn't even wake up to shit. Shitting the bed woke her up. Shitting the hotel bed woke her up.
Uh-huh. I just diarrheaed everywhere. I diarrheaed everywhere in this bed. So much diarrhea. And it was only 5 a.m.
Dude, you would be so mad in this situation, upset, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Probably scared. Do I need to go to the register room? But looking back on this, like after time has passed, this has got to be the funniest story she can tell around her friends.
And I wasn't feeling good. And so naturally, what did I do? Jumped out of bed so fast. Popped in the shower so fast. Got out, go, oh my gosh, what do I do with these sheets? It's so early and I gotta keep sleeping because my flight isn't for like 5 more hours and I'm tired and ill, okay? Oh my gosh, wait, I didn't even tell you the part about how when I got off the plane, I was like asking the flight attendant, I was like, hey, like, what am I supposed to do with this bag of throw up? And she's like, no. Tie it up, leave it all in there. Because the hazmat team's gonna come through. And I go, got it. You canceled that flight because of me. Because now the hazmat team's gotta come in and clean it. Because you don't know if I brought something back from Portugal. And I am a biohazard. Like, I am patient 0. Patient 1? I don't know. You get it. Anyways, I just had diarrhea in the Hilton bed and It probably wasn't a Hilton. It's probably like a Hilton Garden Inn or something. The fuck am I know? In Indianapolis. And I just take those sheets and I wad them up, toss them in a corner. I lay right back down on that bed.
Oh my God.
And I go to sleep a couple more hours. I wake up, I go, oh no, what do I do with the sheets that I shit in? Left them, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell them when I check out. I'm gonna have to like actually check out. This can't be like, I'm just leaving. I gotta let them know. So I go to the front desk, and I go, hey. I'm just, mind you, yesterday I've shown up in the rental car. I get out, I'm valeting, because I literally just throw the keys at some poor guy. And I'm like, please help, I'm literally like, help me. Withered. Now they gotta get my car again. I gotta tell the lady at the front desk that I shit in the sheets.
Oh.
She was so cool. She was so cool about it. I was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I've been sick for maybe a couple days. There's some sheets in the corner. Just like,
I thought Brock Lesnar had like legal trouble again, like a sex trafficking, pay for sex, prostitution, sexual assault kind of lawsuit that was going on against Vince McMahon.
housekeeping, just throw those out. Just throw them away. She goes,
Throw them away. There's no saving them.
happens more than you think. Okay, thank God. I get on my flight. I get back to Atlanta. Never look back. I can't leave this bathroom. Ma'am, it's bold of you to even...
Get on my flight, go to Atlanta, never look back. She did not expect millions of people to see it. She isn't the maid, that's right. At least she balled him up and like set him to the side and told him to throw him away so somebody didn't open it for a fucking Hershey surprise.
Watch this video.
She never expected to go viral. Most of her videos get like 1,000, 2,000 views, whatever. This one got like 2 million. And before she could even post this video, it was up to over 5 million.
To clear a couple things up, first of all, don't feel bad for me. I've been laughing about it since it was happening. If I had any ounce of embarrassment about this story, I would not have posted on the internet. Mind you, I didn't think that anybody was gonna really see it.
The title of this video is I did not have my phone in that bathroom. It was just vibes and horrors. She tells you what caused it.
I'm not a monster. I did not get onto that last flight violently ill, okay? I had gotten off the last flight, was like, oh no, I'm probably gonna have diarrhea. But I had 2 hours to make it on my last flight. Mind you, this is gonna be the third one. Like, I've been flying for hours and hours at this point. I just wanted to get to Indianapolis. I was like, I gotta be on this plane for 2 hours, make it to my hotel, and then I can just like have diarrhea, okay? I didn't think I was gonna have it 11 seconds later. And for a duration longer than anyone should ever experience. It was food poisoning also. A lot of neurovirus comments on here, and like I ate an undercooked burger that night before I left. I didn't eat the whole thing either. I ate like a couple bites of it and was like, that seems suspicious. I'm not gonna finish eating that. I gotta fly tomorrow. Didn't save me. Not to freak all of you out. It didn't save me. What else to clear up in this story? No, I was not naked when I ripped open the bathroom door. I did get my sweatshirt off in time. What are the other? I literally spent all day reading your comments, and I cannot believe that you guys haven't watched this whole story. This story has brought so much joy to me and my friends for the past year. I'm so happy to share with all of you, I guess. Hell yeah, diarrhea. Something else I would like to add is that I left Portugal early. I wasn't there on like a fun trip with my friends, okay? I was in Portugal with the family that I nanny for. I'm a live-in nanny. I'm here in their home, okay? They're amazing. Okay? I left Portugal early so that I could make it to this premiere. Mind you, it's my first premiere of like my first like true SAG job that I've ever worked. I've been doing this for 10 years. It's tough out there, guys, okay? So whatever. Also, to all of you saying that I'm such a good storyteller.
Especially overseas, right? It's one thing to like order your burger like medium, like in the States. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it feels better in your head.
and that hopefully I'm a writer. I am an actor and a writer. I am a live-in nanny as my survival job. As far as story times go, I've got an arsenal of stories to share. If you guys want to hear them, I've just been living, collecting.
Especially ground beef. I like rare steaks, but
to me,
steaks are different.
For whatever reason, just don't faze me. So I'm happy to take one for the team. I'm not sure where you even want me to begin. You want me to start with the high school mental health hospitalizations? You want me to start with the hallucinating as a 7-year-old? You want me to talk about my narcolepsy? Like, I've got every story about a crush known to man. Dear God, I'd stay having crushes that do not want to have a crush on me. And that's fine. Because I'd be pooping, I guess. No, it's actually because I'm like clearly kind of insane a little bit. Not insane, but like some of us are just fucking weird. I don't know what to tell you. Some of us just have...
It did get dark for a second.
What do you want from me?
This is where she finds out 5 million people saw it.
You know, last night. I did 5.5 million views now.
Oh, it's a good video.
Little piece of lore about me is that my friends
So now people are asking her to tell more stories, so here's one of them.
started calling me Rat Girl,
My friends started calling me Rat Girl.
lovingly, because there was about a 2-year period in my life where I somehow managed to talk to 3 separate men that had pet rats.
Had pet rats.
First of all,
No shade against people with pet rats. Rats deserve love too.
one of them I just happened to meet. I wasn't romantically interested in this person. It was actually a bartender in New York. I was like at a restaurant, I was eating by myself, like at the bar, and the bartender was like chatting with me and was definitely flirting with me. And at some point goes, "Oh my gosh, you have to see what I found this weekend." I was like, "Okay." And he comes over and he's like, "I saved this baby rat on the street." So we're in New York City. Do not pick up the rats. But no.
Picking up a rat in New York City.
It was this big. A baby rat, okay? But this happened after the first occasion, which is I had come across on like a dating app a guy that I had a crush on like senior year of high school. I met him one time. He was a friend of like family friend of like one of my best friends, okay? And I met him one time. But mind you, that was in Cincinnati. I live in Atlanta now. We lived in the same place at this point, and I was like, fate. Anyways, we start chatting. This is 2020, by the way. This is like in the heart of COVID. So nobody has anything to do. We can't meet up. COVID. We're just like, we're locked down, but we're just chit-chatting. Okay, we're rekindling my crush. I'm developing his crush. Okay? I get a Snapchat from him. Middle of our conversation, he's like kind of like playing video games, whatever. But there's a tail on his shoulder. And I'm like, please no. That's so strange. Couldn't possibly be a tail. I'm like, oh my gosh, hey sir, there's a rat on you. Like you wouldn't know. But I have a crush on him. So I have to play it like really cool. And I've got to be like, oh my gosh. I didn't actually play that cool yet. I was like, hey, is there a tail on your shoulder? And he's like, oh yeah. I have a pet rat. I actually have 3 of them.
Ooh.
These are their names, blah, blah, blah.
Creep radar.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Tell me more.
And it may be cool to keep like a mouse or a rat or whatever, but maybe that's not like have it on your shoulder first date topic. You know what I mean?
I'm too nice, I think, is what I've been told
Something you got to ease into.
by my friends because they were like, no. And I was like, people have interests. I don't know. Let people enjoy things. This man had made his 3 pet rats. He built them. He took an old dresser and repurposed it into a 3-story rat mansion and built them a rat fort to run around in his closet. I tried to play cool for so long. I really did. But I just found out that, like, he just kind of let him run.
Snakes, too. Yeah. Go on your first date and have a snake around your neck.
He, like, lets him climb all over him, run around. And I didn't like that. And you can understand how maybe that kind of fizzled out a little bit, okay? That was instance number 1. That's only the first. And you already got instance number 2, okay? With the
bartender
who saved the baby rat. Immediately, I'm texting my friends like, guys, you're never gonna fucking believe it. Another man is hitting on me with rats. What are we doing? What is happening? Put it out into the world that it's like, yeah.
Send her a rat guy.
This one, rats. Okay. Then, keeps going. So then, probably 2 years later, I go on a Hinge date. Go on a Hinge date. I'm sorry. Hinge, do not sponsor me. You're on my shit list. And about every other person's shit list that I know. Get it together. The people out here are suffering. I go on a Hinge date.
I saw somebody do it with a dresser, but it was really cool. It's hamsters, though, but still.
And
like each dresser drawer, they take out and put plexiglass in it, and then they have tunnels connecting them, right? They go in between and out and hide. And I don't know, it was pretty cool with hamsters.
First of all, me and this guy, we have fantastic banter leading up to this, okay?
But it wasn't done like redneck or like thrown together. It was like really nice. I could imagine seeing it in somebody's single wide trailer and it's like over propped up on the corner and there's like fucking bedding coming out of it and shit. That'd be pretty terrifying.
Fantastic. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun, actually, probably. We do a little museum after dark date, whatever. I did learn, unfortunately, that I cannot be taken to a museum for a first date because I'm trying to learn stuff. And I was getting really irritated because he was trying to talk to me. Well, I was trying to learn stuff. Not the point. I realized also that's a personal problem. Like, take people to museums for first dates. Like, that's just for me because I have my own set of issues. A lot of you said in the last video that I cured your attention span. No, I did not. Unfortunately, I just also have an ADHD brain. And so your brain sees my brain and it's like, got it, we're tracking, we're following. So we're at the museum. This guy is like, well, I guess first we're walking around and I make a joke and I go, hey, so just as like a prerequisite question, you don't happen to have a pet rat or in the near future ever plan to have a pet rat, right? Kind of like, haha. And he was like, actually, it's so funny that you mention that. And I go, brother, I don't think it is.
Oh, is there a second part?
So he goes, yeah, in high school.
Oh, no.
My sister's like science teacher or something like had a classroom pet rat, whatever, was like getting rid of it. And so she decided to take it, to give it to me to take care of. And so like for a while, like I had a pet rat. Dog, be so fucking for real. Open the door and let that thing run outside. Finally, because I'm still on this date, he's like, hey, do you want to go sit over here on this bench where it's quiet and we can like chat and like talk? No taking. Yeah. I get it. I'm distracted. We go sit down. And also, jumping back to our banter, at some point when we've been talking, I made some joke of like, yeah, like, write up the contracts, like, I'm ready to sign, like, let's do this, whatever. So we sit down on the bench, this man pulls out 2 copies of a front and back, printed out dating contract that he had...
No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. Are there people out here running around like that? Like, you make a joke like, yeah, write up the contract, I'll sign it. And they show up with an actual contract?
For us to sign.
The rat has to put his paw print on there?
Smash. First of all, stop right there. Loved that. Loved the commitment to the bit. Okay? Big fan. My friends were like, no, that's kind of weird. Like, you don't understand. He
very weird.
Contract. No. What you're not piecing together is that this man, rat aside, took my banter and materialized my joke. He said, I'm listening, I'm taking action, and and I'm presenting to you
No, there's something wrong with that.
joke. That has now set the bar. Every man should be materializing my jokes. And I'm giving you plenty of material, so you've got plenty to work with, okay? We're sitting there. Obviously, I'm signing it. We're reading it. I'm signing it. This is where it gets a little dicey. Then he goes...
No, there's absolutely something wrong with that. That is insane. Absolutely something wrong. No, I don't have an echo.
Proceeds to tell me about the circumcision he had when he was 22. About the circumcision. That's fine. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. But then I'm finding out more. Now, to be clear, first of all, this guy was awesome. Okay, it just simply wasn't a love connection. I realize it sounds like I'm like shit on this man. That is not the case. Okay, this is actually clearly more of a problem of me and a self-reflection of who I am, because clearly I'm bringing out the men with the rats, and then also I'm asking just way too many questions.
The contract's creepy, right? The contract's strange.
Because I'm nosy as hell. And I'm like, interesting, tell me more. Careful what you wish for. Because I found out that this man got 18 stitches in his penis. Yup. This man didn't lose his virginity until he was 23. Fine. Lose your virginity whenever you're ready. Okay? But I'm finding out that he didn't lose it until he was 23 because he had to get circumcised because his foreskin wouldn't retract properly.
Is that where he keeps the rat?
I do not know this man.
Little rat cave?
If this man walked up to me on the street right now, wouldn't recognize him. Okay? I'm now sitting here. That thing in there, right there, 18 stitches. We're talking around? We're talking just like up, like what? Around and under? I think he's going up. I think I told him I had gotten breast reduction. Because of this. That would track. It would track, okay? It would track. We're gonna breeze past and pretend that it is entirely my fault. It's always my fault because of who I am. Again, shouldn't be so nosy. It's just like,
so she might have said she got a breast reduction and there was a scar, and then he brought up his penis story.
now there's
Never tell women that there's something wrong with your penis. That's not how you do a first date.
stranger out there.
By the way, nice to meet you. I'm glad you actually showed up. Usually I get rejected a lot. Also, my penis retracts inside my body sometimes, and I have to poke it out from behind. What?
And I know things about him, okay? Because why do I now know that you, why do I now know? Probably because I asked. But he had to spend months on end thinking about horrible things, thinking about his grandmother, thinking of not, she's probably not horrible. You should know what I mean. Because if he got hard, the stitches would burst. I'm sitting next to this man, the thing in his pants.
That wouldn't have worked.
Envisioning like a cartoon, an oversized, like stuffed jacket where the buttons just go bloop, 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 bloop. Again.
I'm glad we hung out for this one. I was going to cut it off at the poop story.
And out of a crowd. I guess maybe his penis. How many stitch marks we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. That's him right there, officer.
What?
I guess maybe his penis. Stuffed jacket. Where the
That's him right there, officer.
Again. I couldn't pick this man out of a crowd. I guess maybe his penis. How many stitch marks we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. That's him right there, officer.
Oh, picking him out of the lineup. Okay. I didn't get it at first.
Are there other apps? Like, is it's me, but like, y'all got any advice or something? Because the rats, the circumcisions,
The shitting on airplanes?
it's too much. It's too much. So he goes, yeah, in high school, my
Damn. Damn, she does have some stories.
Received a
All right, that's it. Let's go. I heard Bert was talking about me. We better go find him. I have not seen this. People told me Bert hasn't been live in 2 days. First thing he did was come back, yell at his audience, and challenge Will to a fight while calling him a homosexual. So let's see what's going on with Bert.
There are people making.
I think Bert loves this, to be honest with you. I do like her too. Her thing is Megan Reinertsen. 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 Reinertsen, if you want to look her up on TikTok. I could do this too. Anyways, Bert loves this, right? Because he can come back and say all these horrible things about me and then say, oh, he's obsessed with me. He covers me every day. Well, of course I'm going to cover you when you're saying ridiculous shit, Bert. Of course I am. What the fuck? What would you expect somebody to do?
My internet was off for the last couple of days, and I just on in time for the show.
Imagine that. He didn't pay his internet bill.
And I see the criticism in there, and I'm sorry, those of you that don't have the patience to wait for somebody who runs the show all by myself, and I'm doing the best I can. If it's not...
So there you go. We're already attacking the audience. Check.
Good enough for you. God bless you. Don't let the door hit you where Brad Barton split you. I just can't take the people that are being so mean. Where the heck is he? Well, I'm tired of waiting.
Who is Brad Barton splitting?
If I could be here on time, it would be. I can't help it when I have a technical problem. My internet was off for two days. I just got it back on. And I've got 4 computers sitting up here that all have to be logged into the internet. And the one that broadcast
16 thumbs up, 30 thumbs down.
Would log me into the internet, but it wouldn't let me log in to Rumble. And so I was doing the best I could without having to restart the entire show. So I'm sorry I left you guys in here talking to yourselves, but it was either that and keep trying to get this rebooted without knocking us off the air. And I managed.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I apologize. And thank you for the ones that weren't being angry with me. But thank you, Brent and Robert Land, for defending me. And for those of you that are disappointed, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it to you on purpose. I'm not trying to make you feel unimportant because I didn't get here in time. It's just hard to do this by yourself, underfunded, and that's all there is to it. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Robert says something about the chat room. I guess you guys are telling me that if you hit the link that I give you, you can't get in the chat room. See, this is another thing. I just don't know these things. I didn't know that, and I apologize. If that's the case, then we have to figure something else out, I guess. Maybe I'll just quit altogether, because I've had a couple other people tell me that. Listen, folks, nobody's as frustrated with Rumble as I am. I mean, they work differently every time I try to log in. And they change it. They don't send you anything in an email that says, we've changed the way this functions or that functions. And then the only way I find out about it is when I go live, and all of a sudden, where the hell's that button? Where did they move the button to? Why does the button say something different now? I wonder if I click on this, what's it gonna do? And then the other thing is I've got this dadgum Windows. I hate working in
He says his Wi-Fi is separate. He's always talking about his internet's on the verge of getting cut off, and he needs donations, and he needs this, he needs that, and he's always behind on his rent. So,
Google Chrome. Windows keeps wanting for me to update. I'm working in Google Chrome. When I update in Google Chrome, it's a pain in the butt to get back and get all the settings right. The other computer I use, where I share
all the Google Chrome settings, got it.
the Alex Jones stuff on you, I work in Firefox. I have to, because Google Chrome won't let you watch the videos on Alex Jones' page. Firefox will, but they operate differently.
At the end of the Great Depression in East Texas, you couldn't find a raccoon.
What do you mean?
Deer. It took decades for them to come back because everybody ate everything that was flying or crawling.
Google Chrome won't let you watch.
You had to go out. Couldn't find rabbits, couldn't find quail, couldn't find dove.
What's his other one? Band.info? Isn't that his other band.info? Gosh, I hope this isn't going to be porn. Band.video. I never knew this. Maybe he's right, but I never knew that. Band.video works fine. Alex Jones, hour 45-minute video.
You can get the
Yeah,
limited
there it is.
Murdered Out InfoWars shirt at thealexshowstore.com. It's Sunday, August 3rd, 2025.
Here's band.video.
Battled hosts
Playing it in Chrome.
around the country.
It's going to continue to be
Lawyers.
Everything plays fine.
And the-
Why does he think Chrome won't play Alex Jones? What? I wonder how he... Huh.
So I got these two, and they're coming back and forth. And because my internet was off for 2 days, and I just got it back on just a few minutes before the show started. Well, not a few minutes, probably an hour before the show started is when I got it back on. And when your internet's been off, there's all kinds of little idiosyncrasies that have to be addressed. And maybe I should have waited and just come live tomorrow after I made sure I had it all working. So I'm sorry that some of you are mad at me. Robert and Brent have been very nice. I'm just here's Red Button. Come on, Bert. Let's go with the news. Goodbye. Sorry, Cam. 1956. I guess she left us. I just don't understand people. Listen, the show is usually about an hour and 45 minutes long to 2 hours long.
Okay.
And if you tuned in at 10 o'clock to watch the show that you know is going to be an hour and 45 minutes long, and 15 minutes in, you're frustrated because I haven't launched it yet, and you're going, I'm not waiting around. I got to go to bed. Well, why were you tuning into a 2-hour show anyway? What shouldn't you just watch the rerun? These are the things that make you go, what? And somebody criticized me by text message earlier that said, you kind of raised pain at some of your viewers. Listen, I just tell it like this. I call balls and strikes.
Okay.
And I apologize. I tell you guys all the time, especially the regulars. I tell you all the time. I don't do this on purpose. I don't.
He's just trying to be fair, guys.
I'm here late because there's a problem.
Bert tarded.
Hey, Robert, got a great attitude. We've been having a good time. Thank you, Robert.
Bert tarded.
Let me see if I can understand this. So when I click on the link from Bert's Facebook page, I can't access chat. You can watch it, but you can't chat. I don't understand why that is. That's from my iPhone. Don't know.
I know why. Would you like me to tell you, Bert? If I say it right now, what are the chances Bert watches this, then repeats it? What do you think? He must just ended. He's only got one viewer. Chat, do you know why if you click a link on your phone from Facebook and that takes you over to Bert's Rumble, why would you not be in chat?
I don't know if it's different from iPad or laptop. There is the myth and the legend. I guess that's when I logged in. Same on iPad. So somebody tell me, just in the chat, tell me what you would prefer I do on the Facebook page. Should I just tell you guys go to rumble.com and look for Bert Lynch? Is that the best thing for me to say? Because I thought I was making it easier for you guys. I was for a while telling you guys to go to bertlynch.com. I quit doing that because somebody said when you did it that way you couldn't get in the chat, so I quit doing that. And today
These AI
I managed to get
help me
my internet
pay
back
off
on, but
my
I haven't
mortgage.
Oh my God, hold on.
I get 3 to 10 winning trades a day.
Freaking ads always popping up.
Thanks.
And playing on their own, dude.
John Thune's working family tax cuts.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out. The there it is. The there we go. Now we can see Bart when he comes in.
They both get shut down at the same time. If I don't have the funds.
Right. So when you're on your phone and you click a link on Facebook, they just updated this maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. Facebook opens an in-app browser. So you're not using Chrome, you're not using Firefox, you're not using Safari. You're using Facebook browser. Now there's another button in the top right that you can click that says Open in Browser, but you're going through Facebook's own browser, right? The same way that sometimes you open YouTube videos and it doesn't open in the YouTube app, it opens in like Chrome or a weird browser or an incognito. Mine's the way I always do it, and I'm like, this is aggravating, is email. When I go through Gmail and open a link that I want to open in Chrome, it opens it in the Gmail browser. It's aggravating. But that's the reason why. So Bert, watch this show and then you can fix it.
In the bank, when the amount that's supposed to come out comes out, they shut down the website. If I don't have the funds, I managed to get my internet back on, but I haven't got my website back up.
Oh no!
Putting that, and today I managed to get my internet back on, but I haven't got my website back up. They both shut down at the same time. If I don't have the funds in the bank when the amount that's supposed to come out comes out, they shut down the website and my telephone service, which is also my internet. They shut it down until they get their payment. And unfortunately, it's all due on the 1st. As we all know, most people's bills come out on the 1st. And I'm
that's right, legend.
Now to stay on top of it. I wish I could say I can't, but I can't. So let me go back here. So give me an idea what you guys think. Maybe I should just say I'm over on Rumble. Go do your best to find.
If you had a regular job, he'd just go to Social Security.
I don't know. I mean, it's.
I don't think you have to have 10 good years, right?
Issue. I guess it's. I'm sending you to the Rumble /Bert is where I'm sending you. I don't know why that shouldn't. Why you.
Rumble/Burt. I don't think that's the link.
Shouldn't be able, and I'm blaming you guys, I'm blaming Rumble. I don't know why you shouldn't be able to just click on the episode. Because when I give you that link, unless I'm wrong, and that's only my computer's doing it, it takes you to my page where you can see all the shows, all the previous shows, and the one that's sitting there going.
A lot of veterans who get 100% service connected through the VA also go to Social Security and draw.
Starting soon or something, and then I go out because I'm on it right now, and I've got a Rumble Studio thing going too. P. Murphy says some of us are still here.
Oh wait, Crazy Goose says, I did some research on weather control. I also found out they have machines to control volcanoes and the earth plates that cause the earthquakes. They do this through vibration machines. So there you go. That's probably true. Crazy Goose 49 is who I always look to for my geological information.
Talk to us and don't worry about the others. Well, I am talking to you guys because I want to make sure I'm getting it right for everybody. I don't want to be just right for a couple people. I want to be right for everybody. So I'm asking for your advice. Tell me what you guys think I should do because I'll do it.
Bert, you need a tech guy. You want me to be your tech guy? I don't charge much. Not much more than it costs to keep your internet up.
I'm just. It's frustrating that you guys are having to go through that with Rumble. But if you guys want me to, Tawana, hello from Spring.
Oh, it made you wonder if he got a job? No. He was not working. He was just sitting around with his internet out.
Hello, Tawana. Here's Cam 45. Robert, there's B.F. McDowell, and Red, White, and Blue.
He did work. He did claim he worked one day and he couldn't do a show. That was true.
And Cam 1956, I live in Indiana. Also, I see Jesus Christ Loves Us. And P. Murphy, Robert, and Hilda. You see, here's the deal, you guys. I realized how important it was for me to get back on the air today. Otherwise, Bill Bird it.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're being mentioned. Thank God. You're about to lose me there, Bert. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. Let's back up. Here's the thing, guys. I had to come on because Will Bird needed a show to do.
And P. Murphy, Robert, and Hilda. You see, here's the deal, you guys. I realized how important it was for me to get back on the air today.
Okay.
Otherwise, Will Bird at Cold Beer Confessionals wouldn't be able
Wait, we don't say the name of my show.
to do a show. Because you can't get through a day without talking about me.
Bert, you just come back from a 2-day hiatus. And within the first probably 5 minutes of actually being live, because you had that long intro, you're talking about me. You're talking about me. I played a video game for several hours yesterday.
The guy's obsessed with me. I think I'm homosexual.
I thought you were going to sue me and you're going to do this. You're going to have me arrested. You're going to beat me up. Now it's just like, I think he's gay. There's nothing I can do with him. He's just a gay guy. I think he's just a gay guy and there's nothing I can do about it.
The power to give little Bert a little kiss.
Why did that skip?
The power of Christ compels you to give little Bert a little kiss.
I'm only a little bit gay. I'm only a little bit homosexual, Bert. I think I'm peeing.
That's what I think. And all he wants to do is talk about perverted stuff about my cat.
Well, I'm trying to defend the cat, to be honest with you. I'm trying to keep the cat from being in the fetal position in the floor of a shower with the cold water running for something that just won't scrub off.
Just went over and checked it before I came on the air because I've been offline for 2 days. So
I just checked him before I went on the air. Just checked him. He's talking about gay cat stuff. I just looked. Go over there. It's all gay cat.
How many times has he gone after me? And he sits there and just watches my show.
Sometimes.
Makes comments about nothing.
It's called commentary. It's called commentary.
I made a comment to somebody in the chat room of how many cities I lived in Florida. And I said, and this is sarcasm, and all you guys know this is sarcasm. I said, I've lived here, there. I've lived everywhere because I lived in Florida for 100 years. And he goes, 100 years? Yeah, right, 100 years.
Does somebody want to explain to Bert why that's not a good saying to have, right? That's not good hyperbole. 100 years? If you'd have said, I've lived there forever. It feels like I lived there forever. 100 years. Why would 100 years? Why would 100 years be bad? Why is that not good sarcasm? Because it doesn't even make sense, right? If he'd have said, I felt like I lived there forever. He brags about living in Las Vegas for like decades. Clearly, he's not 100 years old, nowhere close. He's not bedridden and decrepit. It would be like me saying, you know, I worked at that job for 100 years. No one says that. But people might say, I worked there, it seemed like forever. It feels like I've been there for 10 years. I've only been there for 1 year. 100 years. You blew the scale out of the water, Bert. You blew the scale out of the water, and it doesn't make, it's dumb. It's dumb to say. There are a lot of ways you could have went with it, but 100 years is fucking weird, dude. It doesn't make any sense. It draws you out of the sarcasm or thinking that it's funny or thinking that it's ironic or thinking that it has anything to do with sarcasm. And you're like, 100 years? So he's lived decades in Las Vegas and 100 years in. Even sarcastically, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, like he lived there 100 years. You fucking idiot. What kind of a retard are you, dude?
It wasn't me calling into question, were you not being sarcastic? Were you being literal, right? Obviously, I know it's not literal. But even in the realm of sarcasm, it's dumb. People say, I lived there my whole life. That's a common saying, and people understand that. I lived there basically my whole life. And you could have said that. But if I say, I lived there for 300 years, so that blows the scale out of the water? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I mean, your sense of humor is so bad that you need other people to post shit that can make you laugh. Because you can't come up with...
You guys do post some funny shit.
Even that? And your joke is, Bert's cat turns his tail to him because Bert trained him to do that.
I said, why do cats always stick their butthole in your face? Why do they do it? I know why Bert's cat does it, because he's got him trained. But why do all the other cats in the world do it? Has Bert been training all the cats?
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a damn if the cops come for me. If I ever see you in person, I'm going to kick your ass.
The cops, they'll never take me alive. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm a black belt. Even with my shoulder at only -6%. That's sarcasm, Bert. I'd still take it. I'm going to kick your ass. I know the guy in charge of the UFC, and I'm getting us a cage match.
And I'm 20 years older than you and out of shape, but I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. You just wait.
And I hope the cameras are rolling.
You're more like fucking 30, 40 years older than me.
When I do. And he's over there laughing right now because I just said that.
You know me, Bert. You know me. You got me. You knew what was going to happen. That I'm laughing to your fucking face. What? How old is Bert?
Kathy M says I always just go straight to Rumble and there's no problem. I guess maybe because I post a link and the link...
And he's laughing right now just because I said this.
That I copied isn't the current link. I mean, it's like maybe...
30 years.
I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me, but hell. Neither does...
Yeah, you're definitely 30 years older than me.
Does Will Bird having an audience in his room make any fucking sense to me? So I don't know what to do.
You can't let it go. Why doesn't the link work? Doesn't make any sense. Why do people watch Will Bird? Also doesn't make any sense.
So sorry I've been gone for a couple days, but there was nothing I could do about it.
It's them Diet Cokes. You had enough money for a Diet Coke, but you couldn't pay your internet bill, Bert? Come on. So every time his internet gets shut off, he has to reset everything back up. Then every time he updates Chrome, he has to go back and get all his settings figured out. Specifically, Chrome, when it updates, saves your settings. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but it never changes the settings.
I've got some people saying to me that I shouldn't let that stuff bother me. Well, it's not that it bothers me, but
it doesn't bother me. But here's how I'm going to tell you that it bothers me.
I'm not going to ignore it either. I'm not going to ignore the fact that there's somebody over there bad-mouthing me. And like I said, like my lawyer said, he's too broke for me to sue.
There you go. I'm brokey. I'm over here. I'm just broke. Too broke to sue. It's what my lawyer said. My lawyer that I totally have. Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not going to sue him, and he knows that. He's what they call that
judgment proof.
What do they call that? They call that
you'll figure it out.
What they call it. But anyway,
maybe you won't. Maybe you won't.
No one's going to sue a broke guy. And that's why nobody's suing me, because I'm broke as hell.
Says the man without a car, without a place to live, without anything going on in his life. And his internet just got shut off for 2 days. That guy's broke.
All right. So what I'll start saying, because honestly, when I make those posts on Facebook, I don't know how many people see them because I don't get any thumbs.
Sue him for his last Coke.
Nobody ever does that, except for Robert. And I ask you guys to repost the show, and nobody ever does it.
Nobody ever thumbs it up.
Right.
Nobody ever gives me the thumbs. Just Robert. Robert does it.
So what I'll start saying, because honestly, when I make those posts on Facebook, I don't know how many people see them because I don't get any thumbs up like I ask you guys for. Nobody ever does that, except for Robert.
Contingency, not pro bono, contingency. So he says, I talked to a lawyer, and he told me that he'd sue anybody I want for free, and he takes his money after we win.
And I ask you guys to repost the show, and nobody ever does it except for Robert.
And he's going after Phil, guys. Phil's a big fish. He's going after him. Going to take his millions.
So it's like I don't have any data to be able to go off of because I'm not getting, if there's...
Because you don't have any followers. It's not that you don't have the data. The data's right there, staring you in the face. It's always been there. There's only 6 people in chat. It's not because you have 1 million people watching you or 1,000 people, or whatever the fuck you're going to claim, and they're just not chatting, and they just don't show up because the deep state and Facebook and the Democrats and the pedophiles or whatever, and they didn't thumbs up your post. It's because you don't have followers, bro.
There's only 3 people that are going and watching the show because I'm posting it on Facebook. I just stopped doing it. If you guys are all getting here because you're getting the email from Rumble, then
Rumble email
data, I would know. So stop wasting my time doing that. But
that is data. That is data. You've posted every day there ever since you went back to Rumble, 6-8 months? I don't know. And you're only getting 1 person liking the post. That is data. You're just like Trump, who fired the numbers guy because he doesn't like the numbers. I'm not getting any data. I don't know. Only 1 thumbs up every time I post. It's just Robert. He's the only one that likes it. He's the only one that shares it. But I don't have any data.
All need input from our friends and our viewers. And I consider the 99% of you in the chat friends of mine. I do. And that's another thing. Will Bird's got 10 people in his chat.
Oh, my God. Move on.
That's going to make fun of the 10 people that are in mine. Get my hands on that dude.
Can't wait. I'm gonna massage him. What, Bert? That was a weird hand motion. What happened? I bet you'd like to get your hands on me. I'll give you a part you can't turn loose. Once you pop, you can't stop, Bert.
I can't.
Bring the lotion.
I obsessed for years about wanting to be.
Oh, he can't stop, dude. He's hooked in. Remember to cup the balls, Bert. You got it. You're bringing the lube, right? You're the lube guy. You're the lube guy. I'm not doing it if you don't bring lube. I won't. I'm telling you right now, I won't do it.
Beat the hell out of the guy that broke up my marriage. Caused me to lose my son. I never think about that son bitch anymore.
It's all Will Bird. Every bit of it's Will. I used to think about the guy that stole my wife, caused me to lose my son, broke up my marriage, ruined my life. But now I think about the guy that says mean things on the internet. I am the internet. Ooga booga.
My son's 30 years old. That's water under the bridge at this point.
Okay.
I mean, if I saw the dude, I'd still knock him on his ass.
Oh, wait. I do think about it. I would still hit him. I would still be the hero of this story. I'd still knock him out.
Probably do worse than that. I had him put in jail.
Yep, Bert. If you don't have the money for lube, use saliva. I don't know. A lot of it, though. I want a sheen across it, if you know what I mean.
He didn't serve much time. He was facing 15 years to life, but my wife pulled strings and got him out.
Oh, so Bert is so conspiracy minded. I got that guy put in jail. 15 years to life. My wife pulled all the strings and got him out early. Facebook is shutting down my feed. He's not sending it to you guys. They limit my reach on Facebook. It says I only got 4 people watching, but I'll wake up in the morning, it says 600 people viewed the video. That means 600 people were in my chat. Okay, sure.
But the last person I ever wanted to beat up that bad was him. 20 years of martial arts, and I only need about 50.
Up or off? I know the words you're saying are beat up, but your eyes are telling me beat off.
20 seconds of it, and it'll be over.
20 seconds. He's done. I got 20 seconds left in me. Bert, when's the last time you did cardio, bro? What if I just jog around in a circle? What if I just slowly jog around in a circle while you chase me? Bert's not even a minute man. 20 seconds in, 20 seconds out, he's done.
All right. What else is going on that I want to tell you about?
I'm going to give you the best 3 minutes of your life. It's going to take me 9 tries.
Lonnie Anderson died today. Lonnie Anderson, which was WKRP in Cincinnati, was the biggest show she was on. She played the receptionist there in that show. I had a big connection to that show because I was in a movie with Howard Hesseman, who played Johnny Fever.
Perfect.
And I really liked that show. And I told him at Craft Services in the film, I was in the film Flight of the Navigator with him. And I played the cop that drove his vehicle. And so I told him, I said, yeah, you inspired me to get into the radio business when I got out of high school. And he goes,
I bet you if Bert Lynch's shit is true, and he talks about all this money he made in Las Vegas and all that, why didn't you put any of it away? Not a fucking dime, dude. Well, then COVID shut me down. Dude, you said you've been doing this for years and years. You should have had a fucking stockpile. At least enough to live somewhere where the cost of living's kind of low.
I'm really sorry for that. I said, yeah, you should be. But actually, my dad was in radio when I was a kid, so I already had a kind of an aptitude for it. But that show was so funny. I thought, yeah, I think I want to do that. Anyway.
Yeah, he talks about how he had all these fans, all these following. Everybody wanted him here. He was booking shows out. He was booking shows out in casinos in Las Vegas and selling out the fucking crowd for years. He did this over and over and over and over and over again. Played fucking 5 nights a week on the Strip or 3 nights or whatever the fuck his lies are. Not a dime of it went anywhere.
Robert Land says the Facebook page goes straight to Rumble and it's all shows, but if the show hasn't launched yet, you don't see the upcoming show icon. I go out and come back in. Well, all you have to do is hit refresh when it does that. I do the same thing. When I launch on Rumble Studio, I've got a Rumble Studio tab open, and I've also got just regular Rumble open, and I go over there to make sure that Rumble Studio is doing what it's supposed to be doing, because you never know.
You never do. You never can tell.
Many times when the show is over, I go over to Rumble Studio, I say goodnight to you guys, I turn out the lights, I hit the blackout button, and I go over there, and it says end show. You hit the end show, and then it says end show again. Ask you a second time. I don't know. I don't know why it asked you twice.
Let's use some clues. Let's say you're broadcasting and you actually have a fan base. Let's say there's fucking 3,000 people watching. Okay? Now, you're in the middle of your show, and the button gets pressed that says end show. Why might ask you, why might the program, the streaming service ask you, are you sure? No idea is a bad idea here, Bert. Just shout them out. Why might it ask you to confirm that you want to end the show? Oh my God, what the fuck? In case you hit the button in error. I can't believe you're this fucking slow, dude. God, this damn thing keeps playing, doesn't it? I can't believe you're this slow. I don't know why it does that. Seems like a waste to me.
Same reason women ask you twice. They want to hear it again. I don't know. So I hit
comedy. I don't know who told Will Bird that he's funny. He has to read his chat to make him laugh. Same reason a woman asks you twice. At least when I do sexism, it's sarcasm, Bert. I could teach you some sarcasm. You don't want to get the women mad at you, because then they'll all try to drive and find you, and there'll be a hell of a pile up on the interstate. You don't have to worry about them making it to you, but traffic could be shut down worldwide. See? Sarcasm, Bert.
I hit end again. And then it says, close the room. And I go, okay, so now I got to do it a third time. And I'll hit the close the room, and sometimes it won't close. Say, we cannot close the room. Refresh. And then you refresh, and it doesn't come back to that spot. And then I have to log out, and I have to log back in, and I have to go back on and start Rumble all over again, and start Rumble Studio.
Yeah, he did say that. He did that. He said that once while he was talking shit about me, that he was a professional comedian.
All over again, and get back in there, and it says now playing, and then click on that and stop that one. Now Rumble, get your shit together. Seriously. You know what never did that kind of...
The one guy with 4 people in chat is demanding that Rumble put their shit together, or he's out of here. Rumble's just standing by, listening to every word. Get a programmer on it. Stat.
Kind of stuff, Facebook Live. Facebook.
Oh, but Facebook was the Democrat deep state that was limiting your reach, remember?
Live was so simple and easy after you learned how to copy the stream key and go live. But you can't go live with the equipment I have, with this particular equipment I have, without another piece of gear, which I don't have anymore.
That's absolutely not true.
I can't go live on Facebook, or I would do it.
That's absolutely not true. You can use a web-based service to put in as many stream keys as you fucking want. I'm doing it without a piece of hardware. I am live right now on Rumble, like you are, and I'm using something on the computer, not hardware, not a piece of equipment. I am live on Rumble, on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube. Sometimes I'm live on 2 YouTube channels. So you're lying when you say you need new equipment to go back to Facebook. When you left Facebook, it wasn't because your equipment broke. It was because you said that the deep state was limiting your reach and you were tired of it. They were censoring you and you were going to Rumble because it'd be so much better. You get to Rumble and you're like, I'm stuck here until you guys buy me a piece of equipment.
So Those of you that I think if you just click on the link and you go over there and my show isn't running yet, it's because I'm trying to get it to go. And sometimes it'll take me 10 minutes to get the damn thing to start playing.
Oh my goodness.
So there's no way for me to guarantee a start time. I apologize. I wish I could.
Bert could make a show. Bert could literally make a show and probably do well. Or maybe not even a show. Maybe pre-recorded shorts or pre-recorded videos. He lives in Las Vegas, dude. Take your phone out and interview people. You can buy like a fucking goddamn $5 mic that plugs into the bottom of your phone. You hold it in your hand. Hold it over here. It's wireless. Hold your phone away or get a fucking selfie stick or tape it to a fucking stick from a tree and interview people in Las Vegas, dude. This is boring as fuck. I'll watch the news so you don't have to. Wouldn't it be better served without the middleman? Why wouldn't they just watch clips of the news they're in? Because a lot of times you're like, sorry guys, I know you don't want to talk about that, but we're not talking about that. Why wouldn't they just fucking go somewhere and just watch the original version of what they want to watch? And they can speed it up.
There is another way, and that's for me to go on a different platform that's more reliable and then just post this show to that platform.
That is true. Alex Jones is not the news.
And after I've already done it live, just post it over there, I guess, would be the only other way.
I heard him say he needs a crew. He needs 2 security guards, a camera guy, a boom mic operator, a new camera, fucking hard drive. I heard him, but it's just not true. You guys know the Haktua girl, right? Not her, but the people that interviewed her are 2 brothers. Well, they might not even be brothers. Maybe they're cousins or something. Are 2 relatives that just go around and ask questions when the bar closes and people are coming out drunk. Right? The bars are getting ready to close at 2 or 3 or whatever they close at, where they're at. They were in Nashville. They waited for the bars to get close. Not exactly closing time when everybody rushes out, but close to closing when people start packing their shit up and leaving. And they go and ask people, what's one thing that you're guaranteed to keep a man or whatever. And that's where the Haktua girl came from. And their Haktua girl obviously blew up, but their fucking videos do extremely well. They make a living off of it, a decent living. Their internet's not getting cut off. They're not paying rent week to week and fucking 9 days behind.
Okay. Anyway, it's good to see you guys again. And thanks.
Right. He can't bitch about his audience all the time and expect to get new followers.
Being here. We've got a bunch of people in the room, and I guess I should go ahead and get to the news.
Imagine if I was here asking for people to follow me or people to share my shit, and then when you come in, I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. Why are you guys typing in chat? Pay attention to me, okay? I'm the show. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Food? You're talking about food?
Somebody said, get to the news. I still haven't got a haircut. I mean, listen, I'm not going to go get a haircut if I can't keep my internet paid. So.
Right. The explosive diarrhea girl. Bert, allegedly, if he has this career that he claims he had, ought to have all kinds of fucking stories to tell. Famous people and run-ins, and you've lived a very long life. You're a whole me older than me, Bert. Which doesn't help you in the fight whenever we happen to fight, I guess. And you ought to have something to tell. Use your fucking phone. Sell all this shit to pay your rent for a couple weeks. I was going to say months, but. And just go to your fucking phone. You don't have the audience to support hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in gear and cameras and microphones. And your fucking internet's getting cut off, dude.
And this is why I'm always asking you guys to make a donation or buy something at the store. Right now you can't buy anything at the store because I didn't make enough money this month to even keep the store open.
Right. He's mad at Brad because he couldn't ride Brad's coattails. Brad eventually cut him off and stopped talking to him, stopped returning his calls. He's even made like these posts about Bert or responses to posts, comments about Bert without saying Bert's name. Rita Big Thumbs did the same thing, but apparently they've made up or whatever. Phil Godlewski's like, the guy seems like a scammer. I don't know. Whatever.
So the donations are still available, but you can only do it through Zelle and PayPal. And that requires you to put in my email address, which is bert@bertlynch.com, which is also connected to my website. But it will still show you how, it will still get you into Zelle and get you into PayPal. But after tomorrow, I won't be able to receive emails either. All right.
God damn, dude. Also, People are like, interview somebody, bring somebody on, I can't bring them into my apartment. Bro, do you think not even primetime news has all their guests or a majority of their guests? It's a very small minority of the guests that actually have in studio. There are so many programs that you could use for free. 100% for free. Yeah, it might have their logo at the bottom or whatever. Who cares? Right? For free. Set up a Google phone line and have call-ins. That's right. But video streaming is a thing that it's never been easier to get into this since COVID happened. Right? Look at all the streaming platforms that popped up out of nowhere. Have a video call and interview somebody. God damn, do something besides bitch at your audience and bitch at me because your show's boring as fuck.
So this morning on Marie Bartiromo's show, she had Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller.
God, I wish. God damn it. We'll have to talk about that on Patreon. I've got a Patreon idea chat
on the show. And he broke some pretty interesting stuff. I know we're rehashing the daylights out of all of this stuff that happened in 2020. And
he did say that one time. Well, when you bring them in, you got to have food and snacks and drinks, and you got to have a table for them to sit at. They got to have their own $400 mic. They got to fucking have their own XR cable running to the soundboard. Dude, I just watched Jon Stewart interview Mehdi Hassan over the Jubilee stuff and other things. And it was an amazing fucking interview. And it looked like they both did it from their cell phone.
In 2016, but we have no choice. We have to rehash it. We have to. Because it has to go back and it has to be addressed. If we don't address it, then all of those people that made all that trouble for us back then are still here. And they're going to continue to keep making trouble for us. Those people need to be rounded up.
No, we're draining the swamp, man.
In jail. At the very least, rounded up and lose their jobs and lose their influence and their ability to affect the government again. And right now they're all there and they're all still stirring the pot. And now they're saying, well, you can't prove we did it. And the statute of limitations and presidential immunity. So they're not even saying that we're not guilty anymore. They're just saying you can't prove it, and the statutes of limitations have run out on it. And we've got it.
Right, because you can't prove a negative. Prove you didn't do this. Well, I didn't. Right. Here's the security footage of me not doing something.
Immunity. Well, I got news for you. The statute of limitations are not run out on any conspiracy theory charge because the conspiracy continues. The statute of limitations does not run out on a conspiracy until you have done the last element of that conspiracy. Why do I know this? Because that guy that I hate so much in Georgia went to prison for conspiracy. Expired.
And the one that stole your wife and son and raised them like an actual father.
And he conspired all the way up until the day of the court hearing when one of his conspirators came in and testified against him. Unfortunately, there were 3 conspirators at the very least, and one of them was my ex-wife. She didn't get charged. So just because you're part of a conspiracy does not necessarily mean you will be charged in a conspiracy. But the 2 people that did go to court, one turned state's evidence and got off with a hand slap, and the other went to jail. And I hope somebody made a boyfriend out of him. But
I hope he got raped in jail. That's always a good punchline.
I have some working knowledge of conspiracy because I had someone charged with it. And the statute of limitations runs out on it after the conspiracy is over and somebody has been found guilty or an adjudication of some sort has happened. And now all the people involved in that conspiracy are now subject to that statute of limitations.
Got it.
My ex-wife I can no longer have her charged, even though I can absolutely prove and did prove that she was involved. That's how that particular charge. Now, treason doesn't have a statute of limitations, but it's very hard to prove. And I've seen several pundits on...
What is treason? Give me treason. What's the definition?
Several stations in the last couple of days that drive folks like us crazy because it's the lawyers. And the lawyers are saying, you have to take your time, and you have to gather all the evidence, and then you have to present the evidence to a grand jury. And then you have to take that evidence, and you have to make sure, before you go to the grand jury, you have to take all...
It is. Have you seen... We went over this if you watch my show, but if you're here from Burt, have you seen the people that have been charged with treason and it didn't stand? So a group of people put together a standing army, planned to invade the south of the United States and form their own country. That wasn't treason.
all of your evidence over to the prosecutor and convince the prosecutor to take it to a grand jury. Then a grand jury will decide if they want to hear the case. And if they do, then we have to gather all of our, and what are these lawyers?
That's how court cases work. What do you want? An executioner? And Trump just points at somebody, he lops off their head?
Doing. They're telling us their process. Why does the legal system take so long? Because lawyers bill you by the hour.
Why does the legal system actually take so long? Because our legal system is founded on the idea that we may let some guilty people go. But we do our absolute best not to put innocent people in jail. Other countries' legal systems are not founded on that, right? It is, you're guilty, prove you're innocent, right? And fucking throw away the key. We don't give a fuck. Our system is built on an abundance of caution that innocent people don't get trumped up charges or political charges or bullshit charges and get thrown into jail. Even if that means we know, our legal system knows as a whole, we let guilty people walk away sometimes. But that's a price we're willing to pay and a process we're willing to go through and make sure every box is checked so we don't, as much as humanly possible, put innocent people in jail.
If they could end that and say lawyers can only bill you by the case and they can only have one case open at a time.
How dumb would that be? Why would a lawyer ever take a super in-depth case?
Page 12370
Holy shit.
Just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That caused a hype train, too. Lawyers would be incentivized only to take the most simple cases and charge their standard rate. They don't have to do as much research. They don't have to do as much investigation. They don't have to dig through a bunch of paperwork. They don't have to file a bunch of motions. They don't have to do this, that, and the other. Instead, they would just take, this simple case of as simple as they could get.
These sons of bitches would have you in and out of a courthouse.
Thank you, Paige. That was for Burt. I appreciate it.
Move on to the next client. But that's not the way it works. And you know that our government is...
I don't know where we get this idea that lawyers want the case to drag on. Do they make money from billable hours? Yes. What's more likely? That they would rather have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours researching my case and it drags on for on and on and on, or that they could finish our case, give me a good outcome that I'm willing to pay good money for, and go to another case and do that again and again and again and again and again. They want cases completed. They want to get paid for those cases, especially if they get something on the back end, like contingency, right? A part of the settlement or whatever. And they want the next one to go on.
Full of lawyers. And what do lawyers like to do the most? Who do they like to sue the most? Doctors. Why is it? Because doctors make a lot of money. And so you see all...
it depends.
The ambulance chasers out there, and
it takes a long time to earn back the money invested in becoming a doctor. And then, really, the doctors that are making a ton of money are super, super specialized or go into private practice or private fucking hospitals. They make a decent amount of money. Or they've been in long enough to pay off all their student loan, pay off all their debt, pay off all that. Then they're making decent money. But it's not like it's not like a doctor's just this like fucking meal ticket, right? I'm just gonna become a doctor and I'll just be set for the rest of my life. A lot of doctors, especially right after they get out of med school and become doctors, right, in their first hospital and shit, are still struggling. Like they're on ramen and shit, trying to pay off their student loans.
They like to sue doctors and they like to sue insurance companies. Usually.
Right. He doesn't. He thinks, he probably does, but in his hypothetical, Bert's not good at making hypotheticals. Because the first thing that someone would say to him is, you think that all lawyers are medical malpractice lawyers. And the reason that this is all fucking gummed up and takes so long is because every lawyer is trying to get him a big doctor case. There are corporate lawyers that never go to a courthouse. They write contracts and shit and make sure you're in compliance. They're compliance lawyers. Hunter Biden's a fucking lawyer. You see him arguing any cases?
When they go after a doctor, they're actually suing that doctor's
I would love to be a lawyer.
Insurance company. Or they're suing that doctor and that insurance company is there and that's who's going to pay the money.
I don't know how much I would like practicing day to day. I do like to argue, but I think it would be fascinating to go to law school and to learn everything about it. Like the system, the way it works, the arguments, the foundation case law and why it's built that way, and to argue the theory of why this is this way and not that way. I'd fucking love it.
But it's total greed, and the reason
I never even met my disability lawyer who won. Yeah.
we're not going to.
And all disability lawyers are on contingency, right? They take their earnings out of your whatever the government gives you.
Number like we want to have is because these damn lawyers are going to drag this stuff out because they're billing by the hour. It's really simple. That's why I don't like lawyers and I don't trust the government. And it's easy to not like them both because they're kind of one and the same. So there you go.
I had a JAG lawyer one time, not because anything I did, because Mariah's crazy ass fucking dad. Mariah's dad was such a shitty parent that when she started driving, she's 15, 16, 17 years old, and still a minor, he did not put insurance on her. Okay? He didn't, and there's a financial responsibility law in Tennessee. You have to have at least liability insurance. So she gets into this accident where she rear-ends somebody on a 2-lane road, and they hit the person in front of them, and she's in a slight fender bender accident. The woman says she's fine that's in the front car, and the man says he's fine or whatever. And then, like, before the time limit runs out, the woman suddenly has, an injury, right, and sues Mariah's dad because she can't sue a minor. Mariah's dad was trying to convince Mariah that even though she wasn't summoned, even though she didn't have any paperwork, even though she wasn't called to court or whatever, Mariah's dad tried to convince Mariah that she had to show up to court and testify in front of the judge that she was to be held responsible, not her dad, because they had an agreement that she was going to pay for insurance as a fucking, 16-year-old and get her own policy, which you can't even do. You can't get a policy below 18, right? You're under your parents' policy. And he had told her was trying to scare her into it, that if she didn't show up, that the judge was going to have her arrested or whatever. At the time, I was deployed overseas, so I had to go get JAG representation because we were married. That was going to affect me, and a whole rigmarole, right? But it never came to fruition. Of course, she did what I said and didn't fucking show up. He got in trouble for it. And life moves on.
Now, let's see what Stephen Miller has to say, but keep in mind, the wheels of justice turn very slowly for a reason. Because they build
how the turntables
you by the hour.
There's no comparison. There's no
Thank you for the hype train as well, Paige.
Coup. And I'm using that term literally. It was a coup to overthrow a democratically elected government, a coup carried out by the intelligence apparatus of this country.
My dad had probably the best claim for disability. So he had an amazing claim that went through super quick. So my dad never graduated high school. He was almost 60 years old when his company laid him off out of the blue. He was a dump truck foreman for all of this huge construction company. Like, they get all the interstate jobs. They get all the jobs around here. He was the foreman over all the dump trucks. He never graduated high school. That's all he had done since he came off the road driving a truck, was drive a truck and then be the boss over people driving a truck. No high school diploma, too old to probably relearn anything. And when his company laid him off, he did the only thing he knew how to do. So he went back to driving a truck for a different company. They come in, they're downsizing during the financial recession, 2007, 2008. They laid him off. He didn't know what to do. So he had a CDL. He had to keep it as part of his job. He had to keep it upright. So he went back to driving a truck. The doctors that do your medical card. So to have a CDL, you have to be like medically sound enough to where you're not going to die and kill somebody while you're driving down the road, or you shouldn't. You're probably not going to. the doctors for years had been kind of fudging his medical certificate, right? Because they knew that's how he made his money. Well, when they decided, hey, I'm not going to sign this medical card, right? You need to go see a cardiologist. You got issues, this going on, that going on, your diabetes, your all this shit. They didn't sign his medical card. That was like a godsend. He didn't know it at the time. He just thought my life is fucking ruined. But not having the only thing he's done his whole life, being as old as he was, and not being able to relearn a new trade, losing his license, losing his ability to drive, getting laid off, and that was his only work that he'd go to, and not having a high school diploma, his shit went right through. Like, it was stupid quick. My mom had issues with like carpal tunnel in her hands and shit. She eventually got disability, but it took like years of her trying to get it with a lawyer.
Country, by the deep state, by Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party. The new information that has been revealed by the Director of National Intelligence and by the FBI eliminates any scintilla of doubt about
Stephen Himmler,
the premeditation, the planning and orchestration of this conspiracy. It meets all of the criminal...
By the way, none of this is true, right? He asked them to write a report on what happened. They wrote the report. They seem to find the same thing that every other person that's investigated this has found, including Marco Rubio in Congress in 2002. A Republican-led group in Congress did the exact same investigation, found the exact same findings, that the Russians were trying to influence the election specifically for Trump to win, or it seemed that way, or maybe they thought Hillary would win, but they were against Hillary. They were trying to give her as much bad press as possible, even if they thought she was going to win. They want to get as much bad press as they could while still holding back some information to use in case she did win, to blackmail her. And that's what everybody that's investigated this has found.
Elements of a seditious conspiracy against the United States.
God damn, is her face permanently like this? Like, I've got nothing against, if you want lip filler, you want Botox, or you want this, you want that, you want tits, I've got nothing against it. It's your body, do what you want. But do you think you went too far when you permanently look like this? Look at a goddamn algae eater stuck to the side of a fish tank. You've went too far.
United States. It meets the criminal elements of an insurrection. It meets the criminal elements of a conspiracy against the government and the criminal elements of a conspiracy to deprive citizens of their civil rights under color of law. One egregious felony after another. And because it is a conspiracy, as demonstrated...
You know when they're screaming this, you know what answers they don't have to come up with? Where's Epstein files? Who's on the Epstein list? All you have to do is say Obama, treason, and fucking MAGA's like a herd of dogs coming to get fed.
By the forethought of realizing and documenting that they understood that this was fake from the beginning, meeting the mens rea standard in law. Because of that, because it is a conspiracy.
Show me that. Show me that where they said, okay, we know this is fake, but we're going to put it out anyways because it doesn't exist. Right? You're implying that exists. It doesn't.
Every single individual actor is now part of that conspiracy. So that includes Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Hillary and Schiff and everybody else who knowingly and willfully perpetrated this plot, this coup, this conspiracy, this scheme against President Trump and the government of the United States. And now is the time and the hour and the moment for accountability.
He just wants his wife to come back from Elon. He's like, I was an incel till I met her.
So that we can reclaim this democracy, Maria.
So there you go. We've clearly got conspiracy charges against them. New is they're going to try and drag this out into the holidays.
I don't know if Bert mentions me anymore. I'm about done with Bert, though.
But the holidays are right around the corner. I mean, look at folks. Look at it. It's August, for God's sakes. I mean, it seems like it was just last week that we were celebrating the election on November 3rd. And here it's August 3rd.
Time flies when you're broke in a one-room apartment.
Crazy good. Oh, man. I appreciate all y'all for letting me vent, because I have to. I have to vent. The only person I talk to besides myself is the cat. And then you guys.
Maybe you should get a hobby. Maybe it'd be this hobby where, like, you wake up in the morning, you get ready, and you go to this place where you get there at a certain time, and you stay there for a certain amount of time, offering to do things for this place, and then you leave at a certain time, and then at the end of the week, they give you money in exchange for that time. Maybe you need that type of hobby.
and the cat.
Yes, they've got Maxwell in a joke of a fucking prison. And what's crazy is, I'll show you. They had to approve this exception for her. No sex offenders are allowed at this extremely low security day camp. They don't even call it a prison. It's a camp. They call it a camp, right? They had to explicitly approve an exception for her because one of the rules that you cannot be at these types of low security prisons is nothing. You cannot have any sexual type charge against you.
Jeffrey Epstein has one known living accomplice, convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been at the center of the firestorm of scandal surrounding President Trump the last several weeks. She has suddenly been moved from the federal prison in Florida, where she was serving her 20-year sentence for her prominent role in the recruiting and trafficking of young
She looks a lot different with her makeup off, by the way.
Girls to be sexually abused by Epstein and herself, to new upgraded accommodations in a minimum security prison facility in Bryan, Texas. The move, which the administration so far expects you to believe is routine.
There's hardly any fences. There's all this freedom. They basically have their own little rooms, like condos. This is for people who they've never committed a crime in their life, but they got a tip on some stocks or something, right?
Comes after a week of pardon talk, after 2 extended day-long private meetings between Maxwell and the number 2 at DOJ, the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, who, oh, by the way, also happened to be Donald Trump's personal criminal defense attorney. We don't know what was discussed in those private meetings.
I've heard about, I don't know if women prisoners will jump chomos like male prisoners will. I've heard that women prisoners are much, much worse on mothers who killed their kids. Like if you get convicted of murdering your kid or something, like I've heard women prisoners are extremely, extremely hard on those people.
We do know taking the meetings was highly abnormal. We do know that whenever Trump is asked about a potential pardon for Maxwell, he said over and over again that he's allowed to pardon whoever he wants. And we do know in the first 6 months of his administration, he has pardoned whoever he wants. And so now, in what is a shocking and frankly appalling scene reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein's original sweetheart deal, the origin of this entire scandal, the one that allowed him to freely head home from prison for 6 hours at times, 6 days a week, Maxwell's new prison is a minimum security federal prison camp. These facilities...
Look, federal prison camp. Federal prison camp. She shouldn't be in a camp.
Staff, limited or no fencing, along with much more freedom of movement and recreational options. These facilities feature less prison staff, limited or no fencing, along with much more freedom of movement and recreational options than any other level of federal prison.
Dude, if I was going to prison, this isn't much different than my regular life, to be honest with you.
Only do these facilities usually house non-violent...
Hell, it might be better.
...and white-collar criminals. Listen to this.
3 square meals, right? Fucking yoga, Pilates, nothing to do. No job to go to. Rent's paid for. Internet's paid for. All the bills are paid, right? Just get to hang out. You just can't leave. Oh, well.
NBC News is reporting that Maxwell was ineligible to be transferred to this kind of facility, to a minimum security prison camp, because she is a convicted sex offender. And that's according to the Bureau of Prisons' own designation policy.
The Bureau of Prisons do not let sex offenders anytime in here, except with an exception from higher up. Who gave her this exception and why?
The BOP had to reach in and waive the rule specifically for Maxwell to allow a sex trafficker, a sexual abuser of girls, to be moved to her current facility.
Don't worry, Trump's playing chess, guys. Trump's playing chess. Dude, from going to a regular prison to this prison, it's almost as good as getting out, right? She just do what she wants, when she wants. She just can't leave this property. That's it. It's damn near as good as house arrest. It might be better. You don't have to pay for shit. On house arrest, you probably still have a mortgage. You have probation officer and fees and pay for the ankle monitor and all that shit.
In fact, among Maxwell's new fellow detainees is Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, serving an 11-year sentence for wire fraud and conspiracy, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah, serving her own 6-year sentence for wire fraud. Shah runs a fitness class in the prison called Shamazing Abs, Just one of the many activities that Jeffrey Epstein's closest confidant and fellow abuser can now enjoy.
How fucking insane. Despite everything this joke for president has dragged us through, I've managed to stay relatively calm. I've avoided the outrage spiral. I've kept my head down. However, if Ghislaine Maxwell gets pardoned, I'm done. This is my line. I will crash out. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't killed in prison. He was given a safe exit from prison and moved to Les Wexner's mansion in Ohio. By the way, your guy, everybody wants to know who the guy is. Who the guy that, how did Jeffrey Epstein get his money? How did he do this? How did he operate? How did he meet all these? It's Les Wexner. That's the guy. That's the guy who paid him orders of magnitude more money than what he should have been paid for tax advice, even though Les Wexner could hire every goddamn CPA in the United States, every tax lawyer in the United States. He hired Jeffrey Epstein and paid him hundreds or thousands of times more what he should have for tax advice, funded Jeffrey Epstein's millions of dollars so he could buy the island, so he could fly the plane, so he could abuse children, and then went to the government where the island is and paid them millions of dollars to get a non-prosecution agreement that he couldn't be prosecuted on what Jeffrey Epstein did on his island. That's the guy. That's him. That's the guy. Go get him. We found him. Kick down the door. SWAT coming through the ceiling. That's the guy. But no one wants to go pick him up. No one wants to make a case. No one wants to get involved because he's got more money than God. Les Wexner.
A 4-year congressional investigation into the assets of Jeffrey Epstein has been stalled indefinitely by the Trump administration, which has revoked access to sensitive treasury.
People are not even talking about this. Trump has closed the access. Trump administration has revoked all access into the Treasury. You remember how they brought up that there was all these like billions of dollars worth of wire transfers in one bank? Who had that information? Where did they find that at? They found that at the Treasury. They gave them 1 day to go look at the transactions that the Treasury was holding, these suspicious charges all around Jeffrey Epstein's bank account on one bank account, and then they closed them out.
Documents that have been granted under Biden. The Senate Finance Committee started looking into Epstein's finances in 2022 when Oregon Senator Ron Wyden discovered that Wall Street billionaire and Trump ally Leon Black vastly overpaid Epstein for tax and estate planning services. I started digging into Black and found that he had not only paid
did I say Les Wexner? Maybe it's Black. I'm sorry. Maybe I got the wrong guy.
5 times as much as
Les Wexner's in there as well. He financed him. Maybe it's Leon Black that I'm talking about.
CEO salary. But in 2023, he reached a $65
What a rant to go on and have the name wrong. My bad.
$1 million settlement agreement with the U.S. Virgin Islands, home to Epstein's infamous.
Yeah, it is. It is Leon Black. Let me back this up and he'll tell you better.
2022.
Fuck. Wexner is still a money guy.
Under Biden. The Senate Finance Committee started looking into Epstein's finances in 2022 when Oregon Senator Ron Wyden discovered that and Trump ally Leon Black vastly overpaid Epstein for tax and estate planning services. I started digging into Black and found that he had not only paid Epstein 5 times as much as a CEO salary, but in 2023 he reached a
5 times the average CEO salary. Yeah, Les Wexner's not innocent. He funded this too, but he's not the one who made the deal with the Virgin Islands. It was Leon Black. That's what I got wrong.
$65 million settlement agreement with the U.S. Virgin Islands. He reached a $65 million settlement agreement with the U.S. Virgin Islands, times as much as a CEO salary. But in 2023, he reached a $65 million settlement agreement with the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Who the fuck? If you're not tied up with Epstein, why would you go to the U.S. Virgin Islands and give them $65 million in restitution so they wouldn't prosecute you? Imagine my local bank gets robbed. And one of the bank people is my friend, right? One of the bank robbers is my friend. And the police know he's my friend. So I preemptively, before the investigation even starts, I go to the sheriff's department and say, hey, I want to make a donation of $100,000. But I need to know that you're not going to prosecute me for anything that may come out in this bank robbery investigation.
Islands, home to Epstein's infamous trafficking island, in exchange for immunity from an Epstein-related prosecution. This immunity was granted despite prosecutors' conclusion and Black's admission that Epstein used the money Black paid him to partially fund his operation in the Virgin Islands. And that
Les Wexner and Leon Black were both the funders. It was Leon Black who did the non-prosecution agreement.
takes us back to the Treasury. The Finance Committee used Black's massive overcompensation of Epstein and admission that he helped bankroll the island to justify their request to access sensitive information held by the Treasury that could reveal tax fraud and a money trail from Epstein's wealthy clients to his alleged...
You know, when you go to the bank, I don't remember what the limit is, but let's say they have to report transactions over such a size. Let's say $10,000 or whatever it is. That's what they're looking at. All these transactions were gigantic.
Sex trafficking rate. Based on the committee's findings, the Biden administration granted investigators access to suspicious activity reports held by the Treasury. These are reports banks are required to submit if any of their clients' activity raises any red flags. But due to the sensitive nature of these reports, they can't leave...
They claim it's for terrorism, right? Like, well, if you're moving that much money, you could be funding terrorists. It's not. It's another way to keep controls over us. But now that they've got it, I don't personally like it. I think the number should be probably higher. But now that they do this, every time that I pull out money to go buy a fucking car or some shit, they write my goddamn name down and send it to the government. And now that they got all these names, they don't want to fucking use them.
The Treasury, and copies can't be made. Committee investigators were given 1 day in February 2024 to look...
The records can't leave the Treasury and copies cannot be made.
Their client's activity raises any red flags. But due to the sensitive nature of these reports, they can't leave the Treasury and copies can't be made. Committee investigators were given 1 day in February 2024 to look through the suspicious activity reports from one bank and take handwritten notes on what was in them. And in just that short amount of time, they found nearly 5,000 suspicious transactions where $1.5 billion was being moved around from billionaires to Epstein to women who have since come out as victims. And now, in order to actually do something with this information, going beyond their napkin scrawls, the Finance Committee was told they needed a subpoena. All the Democrats on the committee agreed, but since they're the minority party, they just needed one single Republican on the committee to sign off on a subpoena. So far, none of them have. With this renewed public interest in Epstein, Biden's been at least trying to get back...
The Les Wexner guy owned Victoria's Secret. He is a creep. 100% he's a creep. He is a creep. He's always been a creep. Yeah, Leon Black as well.
Into the Treasury to compile more evidence and build his case so he can get that subpoena. But once Trump got back in office, he's roadblocked that entirely. The Treasury's even gone so far as to gaslight the public, saying Biden never asked for Biden for access, which is a provable lie, and is trying to write the whole thing off as political theater. I reached out to the Treasury, who so far have respectfully declined a request for an interview.
Leon Black and Les Wexner are the people you're looking for. Or at least the start, the top of the pyramid. That's them. He also owned Bath and Body Works. Yeah, I think they're together. Under L Brands or whatever his fucking conglomerate is. Leon Black and Les Wexner. That's the top of the pyramid. Go fucking get them, boys. Go get them. They don't want to fuck with those people because they got so much money. Leon Black directly gave Epstein like $158 million, then paid $65 million to the U.S. Virgin Islands so they wouldn't prosecute him. They don't want to get him. All right. Leon Black is close with Trump. Probably show his Les Wexner. I don't know. I know Leon Black is incredibly close with Trump and a supporter of Trump. But he's probably donated fucking tons of Democrats too. Nobody wants to fucking get him. If they did, they would have got him already. They don't need a list. They don't need this. They went to the Treasury, right? This guy is paying to not get prosecuted by other countries. that means that we should probably be looking into prosecuting him. All right, here's a funny video. Palate cleanser. Oh, by the way, before we do this, the best. The game is awesome, dude. The wedding scene was awesome. There's another cut scene that I'll probably end up showing on the show again, where there's like a hanging about to happen. The game is fucking awesome. The wedding ends up in a fight. I get let out of jail, but they're going to hang my buddy. I have to figure out how to keep him from getting hanged. It's fucking amazing. I'm deep into it now. Sorry, it was slowed down for some reason. Here we go.
The video I'm about to show you is about how not to tow your vehicle. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse. On July 30th, around 6 a.m., deputies responded to Faux and Teriyaki in University Place where a vehicle that
Look at this. The vehicle drove through the store.
Crashed into the business.
And the bumper's laying over here behind Chat. You can't see it, a red bumper.
Causing significant damage to the entrance. The vehicle was reported still sitting.
Oh, there it sits. It's just sitting in the parking lot.
Sitting in the parking lot, abandoned on the far side, after a white Honda Pilot attempted to tow it from the AutoZone parking lot. Deputies were able to review surveillance video, so let's
also that NFL building shooting or whatever, that was crazy.
Take a look at what happened.
I know conspiracy theorists are like trying to say that the BlackRock CEO or whatever was the female. She's like part of the BlackRock, one of their investment group CEO. I don't think she was a target. It seems like she just happened to be there.
It appears the vehicle parked
here we
in
go.
the zone the day prior around 5:45 p.m.
That's it, parking right there.
The driver left the vehicle and told employees he'd come back and tow it since it wasn't.
Let me see if I can do this. I want to get it to where the chat's not in the way. You can see the full video. That's basically the full video. All right, there it is parked. See it? Just above my head.
Wasn't working properly. At 3:45 a.m., a white Honda Pilot with a dolly can be seen backing up to the broken down vehicle and attempts to tow it away. Around 5:15 a.m., the vehicle is finally pulled from the parking stall.
All right, so they've got a dolly and a Honda Pilot, and the Honda Pilot has a donut on the tire, a donut tire on, but it's not on the dolly. You see that? They've got a dolly, which usually brings up the two front wheels, right? And you strap them down. It's not on the dolly. They're using a strap that's tied to the dolly to pull the car, I guess to get around to the front to put the dolly underneath it.
With a tow strap, but it only makes it to the other end of the parking lot before the strap fails. Around 5:50 a.m., the driver appears to try and secure the vehicle again for towing, but things get a lot worse from here.
Oh, no. Oh, God. So there it went. The strap was broke. You can see the strap being dragged behind it. See the strap hanging? The strap broke while they were towing it with a dolly, with it's not even a tow strap. She says tow strap. It's a ratchet strap, okay? It's a 2-inch ratchet strap. It broke. Oh, shit. Every time I pause, it tries to slow itself down again. All right, so here comes the dolly back. Another ratchet strap. All right, here we go again. Now this time they were smarter. They didn't tie the ratchet strap to the dolly. They tied the ratchet strap to the car, to the other car. It's actually 2 ratchet straps tied together, a yellow and an orange. Okay. So they pulled it away again. Awesome. Oh, God damn it. God damn it, dude. Twice. Twice. What the fuck are you doing? Like, the first time is like, holy fuck, we're fucked. We're fucked. But if you're going to go pick it up again, put somebody in that motherfucker. Find a brick, a curb, a person, lay down in front of the tires. Holy fuck. Third go. 2 ratchet straps. The knot must have failed. Tying it again.
The driver and female passenger.
There, and you can't tell me he didn't have a person with him. There she is. She couldn't hold the goddamn brake or put her foot. Like, I understand this parking lot is probably sloped. But without a car getting momentum, you could even put your foot in front of the tire. It's not going to hurt. You just hold the car there when you stop.
Eventually give up trying to tow the vehicle away.
So they try to drag it out of the parking lot. Nobody's steering it. The wheels are cut the other way. Nobody's steering the fucking car. Watch what they do. They drag it over the curbs and the trees and shit.
When it gets stuck along a retention wall,
just dragging the hell out of it. Over the tree, over the bush. Now it's hitting this wall over here.
And they abandon the vehicle.
Then they just cut the strap and leave.
University Place deputies are asking for your help in identifying that white Honda Pilot or the female in this case. There's significant damage to the Pho and Teriyaki restaurant. This is being investigated as a hit-and-run collision.
Then the first picture that you see, when they said they shortly found the car not long after, that's where they fucking they just left it there. That's where they left it. I won't pause it. I'll let you watch it this time. It's insane.
Sitting in the parking lot, abandoned on the far side.
Well, no, they're just asking for the female, and the Honda Pilot didn't have tags, but they're just asking for those two. They got the male. I'm sure he's the owner of the car.
Honda Pilot attempted to tow it from the AutoZone parking lot. Deputies were able to review surveillance video, so let's take a look at what happened.
Twice, bro.
It appears the vehicle parked at the AutoZone the day prior around 5:45 p.m. The driver left the vehicle and told employees he'd come back and tow it since it wasn't working properly. At 3:45 a.m., a white Honda Pilot with a dolly can be seen backing up to the broken down vehicle and attempts to tow it away. Around 5:15 a.m., the vehicle is finally pulled.
By the way, it took from 3:45 to 5:15. He arrives there at 3:45 to tow it. 5:15 is when it first moves.
From the parking stall with a tow strap.
No, I'm saying they already got the guy. They're looking for the girl and the pilot.
But it only makes it to the other end of the parking lot before the strap fails. Around 5:50 a.m., the driver appears to try and secure the vehicle again for towing, but things get a lot worse from here.
He broke the strap 3 times. Look at him trying to stop it. He tried like hell. Dude, how? It's almost 6 a.m. He's got to get out of there before people show up.
The driver and female passenger eventually give up trying to tow the vehicle away when it gets stuck along a retention wall and a curb.
I think this is more panic. Like, we have to get out of here now. It's almost 6 a.m. People are going to show up because now it's stuck on that curb. You could easily go around and get it with a dolly, but they were just going to try to drag it home or cut it loose, one of the two.
Realize it's a total loss at this point, and they abandon the vehicle. University Place deputies are asking for your help in identifying that white Honda Pilot or the female in this case.
I don't know. They never used the dolly. They never used the dolly. Other than to tie shit to it. We just lost internet. Did it come back, chat? Did that kill the YouTube video? That's the first time I've lost internet in like forever. I think we're back. Oh, no, it did kill the YouTube video. Let's see. No, it's still there. That's the first time I've ever lost internet. I looked down and it literally said connection completely at 0. Maybe they're doing updates again. It's been weird ever since the storm. Like, it used to be the most reliable internet, super fast. You know, even my cell phone service never came back as good as it was before. Like, we used to have really good, not really good. We used to have decent service at the campground for internet, or I'm sorry, for cellular service. Like, you could send texts. If the internet was down for some reason, you could still sort of use it. You couldn't make phone calls, but you could text. You could look at the internet. You look at Facebook or whatever, and it never came back after the storm. It's got to have something to do with Helene. I don't know. Looks like everything's working fine now. Video buffering, low latency on Twitch. On Twitch. All right. Anyways, that was the entire show. My bit rate is fucking 600. Holy shit. I probably need to disconnect and reconnect. Anyways, that was a show either way. So if you're still listening, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Support the show at buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. We greatly appreciate it. I'll shout out the donations. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm sure Mariah does too. Thank you all. Yeah, have a good night. And we'll see you all tomorrow probably. Have a good one. Love you. See you. Bye. Good night. Wednesday, I don't know if I'll be here in time to do a show or not. I might be. We're just going to a water park, but it depends on what time we actually get back from there. Whether I have time to drop everybody off and come back in.
And telling the rest of the world, you don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit.
Where my true believer?
Y'all need Jesus.
Praise the Lord, head to the extreme.
All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like four in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait.
Good night.
Stop. What? I'll get my files.